tracked down Duchess by the pool area. "Aren't you the most gorgeous kitty?" Vicky had cooed, which meant she had impeccable taste in felines, even if this discernment wasn't evident in her sartorial choices. Indeed, the girl had been wearing what looked like fuzzy hot pink house slippers at the time. Ruth thought perhaps she'd been in such a hurry to help she'd run out of the apartment not yet dressed. But no. She'd seen the girl wearing the horrid slippers out on the street. Upon a closer look, Ruth noticed they said "Ugh" on the sides, and she thought that extremely fitting. Still, she liked Vicky in a vague sort of way, and she wished the girl could find a mate worthy of her. Sometimes Ruth would glimpse one of the no-good men slinking out of Vicky's apartment before noon, unshaven and carrying his shoes. Ruth would fix him with her most icy stare so he'd know quite well what she thought of that behavior. But they need not have bothered to sneak, Ruth knew. The girl was never awake in the early morning, certainly not before 10, which is what made her fall that day all the more mysterious. Ruth took her walk as usual when the grandfather clock struck 8 a.m. She had a set 1.5-mile route around the Gold Coast that she did in rain or shine precisely at the same time every day. The rest of the world did not adhere to her constancy. She had different companions in the elevator every day. This particular morning, it was the handsome doctor from across the courtyard, Dr. Canning. He'd received big press last year when he'd separated twin girls born in Thailand who were conjoined at the head. The manager of the property had cut the article out of the newspaper and pinned it on the community notices board by the mailroom. But of course, Ruth had already seen it in the metro section. "Mrs. Bernstein," he said, smiling down at her with his even white teeth. "You're looking well turned out this morning, as always." She couldn't really say the same. He wore jeans and sneakers and what was that frightful thing called again? Oh, yes, a hoodie. She overlooked his wardrobe because no doubt he was on his way to the hospital to save someone's life, and that took precedence over one's clothing, even in Ruth's estimation. "Do you know the name of every single person in this building, Dr. Canning?" she asked as the elevator glided to a stop. "No, just the cute ones," he replied with a wink. "Oh, get on with you," she said, waving him off with both hands, but her face warmed at his words. She'd never turned a lot of male heads. Marty's was the only one who mattered. And now at age 84, she was almost invisible. Dr. Canning went to the garage entrance while Ruth walked to the front door. Damon Young, the doorman, hurried to open it for her, favoring her with one of his trademark wide smiles. "Morning, Mrs. Bernstein." "Good morning, Damon. How did your forensic psychology paper turn out?" "Got me an A," he said with pride. "Of course you did." Damon was taking night classes to earn a degree in criminal justice. He would be graduating soon and leaving them, which was the way of things. More change. If you lived as long as Ruth had, change became inevitable, but that didn't mean she had to like it. "And how are things with your new lady friend? When am I going to meet her?" Damon chuckled. "Aw, Mrs. B, you wouldn't approve." Ruth peered up at him with a serious gaze. "You're a young man, and it's fine to have fun while you're young. But be careful with your heart. It's the only one you'll ever have. You're telling me. It's a war zone out there. Not everyone gets lucky like you and Mr. B." Damon had not known Marty. What he knew of their relationship came only from Ruth's tales. "You'll know," she told Damon. "When it's the right girl, you'll know." She left Damon and took her usual route over to Michigan Avenue by the old waterworks, from there walking north toward the Hancock Center. Only it wasn't the Hancock Center anymore, she had read in the papers. It was nameless now, just a number like any other building on the block. She remembered it being built in the 1960s. How excited Marty was to see it climbing to its towering 100 stories. Ruth had never much cared for the skyscraper in its heyday. It was black and looming, and the shape reminded her of that movie.